Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me again. Um, so I've noticed a lack. I haven't checked recently. I'm sure there's probably a good one now, but uh, polymodeling is something in Blender that's I feel like isn't very well explained by a lot of tutorials. At least I have kind of a difficult time understanding it. I've only just, like, started understanding it recently, and, I feel like, when people try to do polymodeling, they just have, in a lot of tutorials, they take a flat plane, and then try to match that up with concept art, and it's not cohesive, right? It's difficult to understand. You need a certain kind of spatial awareness and perspective understanding to fully comprehend it, and it's just I don't find it extremely plausible, right? So I wanted to explain what I've learned, what's the easiest way to go about polymodeling, because it's a skill I feel like everyone should have the chance to understand, and you shouldn't have to, like, do what I did and just watch a shitload of videos just to understand one thing. So this is what I've found is the easiest way to start, the easiest way to go about it. This is what works for me. If you have any ideas, please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear it. It's a learning experience for me, and probably if you're watching this video, you probably interested in this. So let's just get into it. So for this tutorial, I needed some kind of reference. I didn't want to sketch something up, so I asked around, and the only suggestion I got was Solid Snake. So I just stole some Solid Snake art. This is just for, like, explanation and everything. It doesn't really matter what you use. This isn't gonna be to any specific scale. There will be, I don't know if it'll be in this video, but there will be a video later, if it's not in this one, going over detail maps. Because by doing polymodeling, you're gonna be missing out on a lot of detail. And you need the maps to add that back in. So I don't know if we'll get around to that in this video. I'm gonna try to keep it relatively short. We'll see how well I do with that. But let's just get into it. So we're gonna start off with the head here. I just make sure I have this more lined up. I think I had it pretty good there. Okay. Excuse the throat thing. Been standing in the sun all day. Okay. So if I stop procrastinating here, easiest way I found is to just start with a cylinder. It's close enough to a sphere, but it doesn't have all the extra stuff attached to it. And we're gonna go over here. The goal, at least with me, is I want these to be made in a way that I could use them for a game-ready asset. If I wanted to put in a Unity or Godot, per se. So we're gonna try to keep it low poly. We're gonna just go ahead, and we're gonna divide that in two. We're gonna get some 16-sided cylinder, and this is, you don't have to do this, but I find it easier. Just go ahead and get rid of the top and the bottom of the cylinder. We don't need it. And then we're gonna go And get rid of that half, because we don't need that as well. And we're just gonna mirror, right? Make sure clipping's enabled, or else you're gonna fuck it up. And now let's just move this kind of in position here. Make that a little more to scale there. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Move that down a bit. So now, go ahead, go back into the cylinder here. And you can see the hotkeys here. Just Alt-Z to make this see-through. And this is... We're gonna have to... Actually, hold on. Have this piece for a reason. Yeah, okay. Give me a sec. I didn't really plan this out. This is just going off feeling. As you can probably tell. But, yeah, we're gonna start the head here. Okay, now I'll stop procrastinating now. We're gonna go ahead and subdivide this a few times. Maybe like that. For now, looks good. We're gonna be adding more loop cuts, more geometry later. But for now, we just want to match this up as best as we can. So I'm gonna go ahead, go into proportional editing. A little circle up here. And we're just gonna sort of match it up. It doesn't need to be perfect. Like I said, all that other stuff will come later. We don't need that right now. Just a demonstration. And here, the nose tends to be kind of a strange area. Alright, so you want to just match. It's gonna look weird. Like, it's just always gonna, but just bear with me here. So, like, you can see... It's sort of a weird perspective thing. You need to look at it a certain way. And if you're not very good at perspective, you're a little practice, I get a little better at it, but we're trying to read here. So if we look, this is actually probably a better picture for it. So this, the bridge of the nose, how do I say that? It sort of bevels into like where the eyes wind up going. So you want to kind of have just at the beginning, you want to have this edge, the very front edge, as the bridge, and then the one directly after that, just back of the nose. That's what I've found works the best. So again, let me know if you have a better way of doing this. This is what I've found works the most consistent, I would say. So, again, you just want to go and match this up. We're probably just gonna wind up doing a bit of a bust for this character. We're probably not gonna do a full body. Again, this is just for demonstration. And you can, if I remember how to speak here, just give me a second. Polymodeling I find valuable because you can make things a little more stylized just on the fly, just in the design, or like, I guess you'd more call this the planning phase, actually. So like, if I really wanted to, I could take the jaw, and I could just make it a little more pronounced, right? Maybe take the nose, make it a little larger than it is, but I'm not gonna do that. And then you wanna do the same here, so I'm probably gonna just skip through some of this. I might speed it up, or I might make you guys suffer and just sit through and watch me do this slowly. This is a process. Obviously, it still takes time, but it takes way less time than retopology. And for me, at least, that's what I've gotten trapped in doing for a while, because you get really nice, detailed meshes by doing sculpting and then retopology, making it lower poly. But this, you get results a little quicker. And you just use the detail maps. And you can see by eliminating just matching up flat planes, we've already got almost a full head here. Alright, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but we are going to just go there. Oops. Okay, I'm stubborn, but okay, that's good for now. I don't want to go too overboard. We're just mainly focusing on the face here. So now, this is where you want to start adding in more of your loop cuts. You want to make it a little more detailed. So usually what I start with is I try to make the bridge of the nose a little more obvious. Let's try, we're matching it up to two pictures that don't really match, since this might look weird. If you have any, like, original concept art, character design, anything you can use, I say go for it, because whatever you draw is probably going to be a better reference than anything just find online. And this is what the process turns into. Just sort of following how the face flows, right? You just want to match it as best as you possibly can, right? Just as you go, you just want to add a little bit more detail. Dude, I can add another loop cut here. Actually, I kind of screwed up the nose here. Okay. Dude, we can add another loop cut here. Because it kind of, the forehead and the top of the nose sort of make this, like, crevice. So we can go ahead and add a little bit of that. And you can see it's only been a few minutes, and we're already forming facial features. This already is taking shape. That's why I find this so valuable. I hope I'm not boring anyone, but I feel like I needed to at least talk about this in some way. See, there's another sort of crevice here. Can start forming the lip. Which I think he's got like a bushy beard, so it's probably actually back here a little more somewhere. Once again, you can spend way more time on this than what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get the point across. Maybe drag that down a bit. Once again, goes down. And if you're a stickler for keeping your work clean, right, you don't want... It's getting kind of messy, right? Don't worry about that. We're just making the shape now. We can dissolve vertices and edges later. But I would not recommend that until you have your shape, right? Because it might turn into a sort of a weird looking thing. You might break the shape. And just a good rule, basically the rule for modeling in general, is you don't want to break the shape. You can do anything you think you might need to do, but you don't want to break the shape. Right, see, I'm kind of doing that right now. Breaking the shape a little bit. Let's drag that out. Mouth is more like that. Oops. Okay, you guys get the point. I'm just gonna finish that real quick. Alright. Yeah, I do want to kind of form the cheeks a little bit. You can see he's got, like, sort of a slim face. Ours is a little fatter. So we're gonna Just pull it in a little bit. And then this is where you want to do maybe a little more interpretation. Alright, so I'm imagining he has sort of like high cheekbones. Sort of. I mean, we can kind of see that in here. But once again, there's that, if you know anatomy anyway, the cheeks sort of, once again, go up to the eyes, but sometimes if you have like high cheekbones or something, it sort of creates like it flattens out. It creates sort of like a platform, I guess you'd call it. And so you just want to kind of replicate that. And once again, you want the general flow here. That's really the key to this. You want to keep that shape. You don't want to break it. Voice crack there, so you can drink some water. Yeah, you don't want to break the shape, basically. Once again, not going too in detail. We have a face now, alright? Now, the next thing you're probably asking about is how are we gonna attack the eyes? How are we going to deal with this? Well, easiest way is usually just grab a general area, however you think. However much you think you need. Right? See, like, this gives me the general shape of an eye. So we're just gonna indent that. Alright. That proportional editing one. I'm gonna turn that off. And you wanna kind of match. Once again, isn't really the best picture for this. But you wanna, or you know what? I need to make this more readable. We're gonna go ahead and mirror this. If I can. Hold on, let me... Oops, wrong one. There we go. Just so we can see the eye a little better. You want to try and match it up. I want to make it smaller than it has to be. So we're going to scale this and stuff. And then you just want to match it up as best as possible, just general shape. This follows... You could probably actually stop watching the video now if you really wanted to, because this general rule continues throughout this entire process, right? So that's what we've got. Take a look again, make sure it's not breaking the shape. And we can just go ahead and delete that, we don't need that anymore. And then let's go ahead and turn proportional editing back on. I'm trying to match it up to the other picture a little more now, because I focused on this one so much. I think that's good for now. I think that's as good as we're gonna get. Okay, and now this is optional, but I like to. That was the wrong one. Knife tool. That was what I was looking for. That's not the knife tool. Here's the knife tool. My brain is fried. Give me a break here. Okay. You just wanna do a little bit of that. And on that last piece, I like to make sure that there's no... Sometimes there's two vertices that form there. Sometimes you don't quite catch it. We're in the clear now. If that does happen, though, say you have something like this, right? You use the knife tool and it doesn't quite get it. It doesn't merge the vertices. Just go ahead. And you can either merge by distance, or I like to choose the one that was accidentally created, and then the one that you want, and then just go ahead and merge at last, and that fixes it. And this, you're gonna break the shape a little bit here, it's no big deal. You can always fix that. And now that's as far as I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna cover ears. I'm sure you can figure out how to make ears. You follow the same process. You can add another piece of geometry and then just mush them together. It is the sky's really the limit here. This is the basics. Alright, I'm not gonna cover clothing in this video or anything. This is purely the basics. Before I go here, though, there is one thing I forgot to cover, and that is a little trick I'm sure most people know, but it took me a while to figure this out. So if we go to Object and then Shade Smooth, you can see it looks kind of weird. We've got maybe some warping, right? Some lighting isn't really matching up. It looks off, right? We go down here, Object Data Properties, and we go down to Normals, and Auto Smooth. Alright, and that's fixed most of it, alright? But you can see we've still got some weirdness here. Now, I like to change it to 60 degrees. That's, decides what's considered smooth in Blender. 60 usually fixes it for the most part. Sometimes, really just play around with it. You'll find something. It looks like 35 is maybe the sweet spot here. You can see most of it's gone. But if you want to tell Blender, hey, this is considered, this is considered a sharp edge, right? So maybe you want the nose to be considered sharp. Select these. And the shape, I know the shape's off. But just to get that across, we just do mark sharp. And let's maybe do that for the lips too. Alright, and you can see that's fixed it for the most part. Maybe we don't want these. And that looks better. You can see most of that weird lighting's gone. And, you just do this pretty much wherever you think you need it. Sometimes, like there, you don't need that one. That looks fine. Alright. So that's been my weird polymodeling, uh, fucking blabbing, I guess. I hope that helped somebody. I felt obligated to make this video. That's all for now. I'll cover maps in a later video. See y'all.